Good morning, good afternoon. Hopefully the mic is working. Mic check. Mic. Honestly, 45 minutes of faffing around with AMD drivers. Seems the latest update broke the noise suppression and is kind of relied upon for my microphone. So hopefully, please tell me in the voice that the mic is working, you can hear me, and it's not too crappy sounding, etc, etc. I'll continue till some of you or one of you posts. I've got five whole million viewers. Thanks very much, guys. It was really nice to have you all on here, and apologies for keeping you waiting. But yeah, 5 million of you watching. So if any one of those 5 million would like to respond to say that the mic was okay, that would be greatly appreciated. Whoop whoop to the Jake Birkenhead. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Jake, for the hype. Right. Before we go on to the actual draw, and just to stretch it out so that hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, Jake for the win. He says he can hear me. Let's change the view. There we go. The current standings. So team standings, there's been some points tweaks. There's been 3 penalties that have come in, one that took quite a while to resolve back from the round 3 rerun. That's now all resolved, and 2 from the minis, and so those penalties have all been applied. The statue pair up is what Jake is stressing about. You're hoping to not be with statue or to be with statue, Jake? Let me know. But yeah, so let's have a quick recap of the points. Now, obviously MVRC there, nearly 100 points ahead. Absolutely stunning scoring record for them. They have almost done more than 100 points in every single round, only missing out by 4 points in round 2 that you can see there. So absolutely stunning margin there, and we are over the halfway point, so well, you know, could still be close. Other championships have been taken to the line, but maybe this year is the first year that KCSR don't get the championship win. SSR doing very well in second place, but it's quite a battle going on for second place. You've got SSR with 339, RRC with 329, and KCSR with 312. 10 tenths, NRT and AMSU then having their own little battle as well for 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's 10 tenths currently holding on to 5th place, NRT holding on to 6th, and AMSU, we got stopped over by NRT after one of the penalties was applied. So just 1 point between NRT and AMSU at the moment. A little bit further back then, but still lots of fighting going on, which is really good to see. We've got another group there. We've got SRGP, RPM and TRE battling there. They're all very close. And another pairing right at the bottom there with Slipstream and Club 50. So that's really nice to see. If we have a quick switch over to the driver's dinners, I can't believe it, 8 million viewers this morning. That's more than I ever had on a stream, so that's pretty good. So we've got the driver standings here. Now don't forget we have drop points or drop rounds being applied. 2 drop rounds. Your lowest scoring 2 are being ignored. Now there we've got for MVRC S2000 JTB, is that the same Jake Birkenhead that's on the stream? I can never quite remember of the many Jakes. There's a Fancy Jake and a Jake Birkenhead. I think that is JTB at the top there. So if that is the case, perfect bloody score. Look at that. Absolutely stunningly impressive. 35 points all round. But with the drop rounds statue there, he only has the 235 points and missed the last round. But because of 2 drop rounds, that 28 and that 0 are ignored, and he is also on the same score. But obviously, because Jake has more wins, he gets the win, the position, the overall position at the moment, even though the score is the same. Absolutely stunning, Jake. We don't think we've ever had anybody get full points in every single round that have attended, apart from one driver, which is Drew, way back then in the early championships. Let's see if you can do that with this championship. Would be hugely impressive. Anyway, that's the rest of the championship there. Let me, I can't believe I'm so close to the Johnny B, the master. That's more of a lucky round 2. That was a very nice finishing round 2. Round 1 was rather poor, so I'm very glad that the drop rounds are helping me out there. Anyway, so that's the Division 1s. Divisions 2, we've got Dicker currently ahead of the crowd, as it were, by 9 points. He's doing very, very well. But we've got Slayer there and Andy Moore battling for second place. So, yes, lots of championship fighting going on there. That's really nice to see. Okay, it's enough of that. Let's switch to the driver to server assignment. Oh, quickly had to mute the mic there. I got a little coffee tickly thing going on at the moment. Now, I think, let me just bring up Discord in a different view. We've had some last minute changes, so I'm quickly, as I call them out, going to check these. So a bit slower, but let's have a quick look. So 10 tenths, we've got 5 drivers, and that is the same 5 drivers. Oh, no, Prue and Bluefear have been swapped over. And copy, and put him back in. I'm looking at the wrong round. Ignore all of that. That's why the information's wrong. There we go. Round 5. Always check the tabs at the bottom, Jim. 10 million viewers. Bloody hell. That's very impressive. Yeah, that looks accurate. We're good there. So Bluefair is not showing there because Bluefair has been swapped to another team to drive for another team. I'm still going to run through and check. Then we've got AMSU, which is all correct. We've got Chris Bloom. They have 4 drivers, and that's the right 4. KCSR. We're not. Tex is down there, but he's probably can't make it unless I get confirmation that he can. He's not in the draw. So Tex, that's why Tex is not in the draw. If you do happen to compare the driver nominations to what we can see on screen, which is what I'm doing. MVRC, they had 2 spare drivers, and I think Slayer should be on here. Was Slayer not on here? Let me just double check. I'm missing a driver, you see. Yep, Slayer should be on there. Yes, sorry, that's right. I forgot. Slayer said he'd happy to drive for other teams, so he's driving for RPM. Nice one, Slayer. Savage Paddy was also driving for MVRC's reserve. and he's driving SRGBs. We do have a couple of teams who are short of drivers. So MVRC are correct. NRT, where are you boys? NRT, yeah, they're all accurate. RPM, unfortunately down for driver, but they've got Slayer picking up the slack. RRC, they've just had a last minute dropout, or late yesterday, early this morning, so they're down to 3 drivers, and I'm short of drivers, guys. So we do have 2 teams short of a driver. RRC, unfortunately, is the absolute last ones. I had no spare drivers when they told me that they'd lost a driver, so they did have a set of 4 and they dropped to 3. Then we've got SRGP. SRGP. Oh, that was the change that I'd forgotten about. Let's put race for them, which. Oops, mic was muted. Sorry, don't know how long that was for. I don't know if I've got a key bound to mute the mic. I will hold off the key presses as much as I can. Is the control key... The control key seems to be muting. Yes, it is the control key. What hotkeys have we got bound on here then that is making the mic cut out with control? I'm pretty sure that's not what we normally have. Oh, yes, it is there. Control is mute, which means Control C and Control V is no good. Let's change that to Alt. I think we'll do that to Alt. There we go. Control is safe now. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Waffling away there for a long time with the mic muted. But all I was doing is going through and checking the drivers. Long story short, then. Highly professional. Long story short, we have one team who hasn't got a full complement of drivers because I don't have any spares. We do have 2 reserves for SSR, but they're literally they're not really able to race. One has responded to say that you know they're there in the list, but only if SSR hands to drop a driver, then they'll rearrange their real life to be able to race. And the other one hasn't responded. So right now, what I was doing, the usual plea was, please, if you have anybody in your community who wants to race, we do have a team without a driver, and it'd be nice to get them all a full set 4 drivers. We have no slack capacity. If any of your drivers in your team drop out, I can't help you out at the moment. So anybody who's watching, if you would go to your team of drivers, it would be very nice. RRC are doing well. I know it's a competitive championship. It would be a shame for RRC to miss out on points. I know it's their it's obviously individual teams' priority to get their own drivers, but they're the 3rd. That battle for second basically is likely to be ruined if they only get 3 out of 4 drivers. So if at all possible, if you've got anybody in your community who is willing to race, please get them in touch with me and we'll get them in there for RRC. And also helping out any other community whose drivers drop out closer to the time. Hopefully you can hear me. Tinez worked out. Yes, it's the control key, Tinez. Well done, sir. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear me. The meter seems they're still working. So as usual, we'll do a couple of random clicks to make proof that it is random. So here we go. This isn't the proper thing. Me and Roy are the only ones that aren't random. If we just focus on the red ones, then we can use that to see if it's changed. So Slayer and Blue on server 2 and Savage on 1. Let's do that again to confirm it's random. And now we've got Savage on server 2 and Slayer and Blue on 1. So that can proves 100% that Jim's not cheating the system. Okay, here we go then. This will be the actual real selection. Just let me copy that and then paste it straight back in, because that fixes it so we're remembered in perpetuity. So on server 1, we've got Linus and Redacted for 10/10. We've got myself and Pavel for AMSU, Uwe and Steve Kenwood taking the points, Club 50, KCSR, Blank and Bruce, all the B's for KCSR, MVRC, Minimus and P10, NRT, we've got Tinez and Chris. RPM, Donny and Slayer. RRC, Mara, Dorocco and an empty slot if we get another driver. SRGPs, Andy and Carapau. SSR is Dika and Domska, all the D's for SSR. No funny business there, no tee-hee. Slipstream have Jacob and Bluefear. Harm and Grumpy bring it home for TRE, and one independent is Cafalor. As I say, I don't think Cafalor's actually planning to race. I'm not 100% sure, and we've got Randers as well. I can't remember which one responded and which didn't. With a bit of luck, one of them will say that they can race and was willing to stand in for RRC. But as I say, at the moment, RRC short of a driver. There's Adson Poo then for 10 tenths on Servant 2. Fano and G-Bear bigging it home for AMSU. Chris Bloom and Pedro for Club 50. Glenn and Johnny for KCSR. S2000 and JK for MVRC. Badosk and Nessie for NRT. Roy and Fancy Jake for RPM. Daryl Gabardi and Salvatore Rodano. Can't resist the Italian names there. Trying to give it a bit of an Italian flair. There for RRC. Alpha Signal and Savage Paddy for SRGP, Statue and Dustin for SSR. So that's all the Jakes, but Jake Breakenhead and Statue there on server 2. But yes, once again, Statue and Dustin for SSR, Laurie and Bill M for Slipstream, Dun Gizmo and the Nonny Rat for TRE, and Randers there at the bottom. So that's the lineup. You get the face off, Jake. You get the face off. That's right. Both kind of with a perfect score. You, Jake, currently with the absolute perfect score, and Statue using a bit of void voices to get that perfect score. But that's what it's all about. That's how the championship works. So yeah, JK, Johnny, and Dustin. That's a pretty big lineup, as you say, Statue there. This is going to be, and those that are watching, you know it's going to be an absolutely mental combo. That's part of the challenge. I kind of respect Club 50 for putting the combo forward. It has pushed us all to try and up the game. We do need people to be super careful. Get through that first bloody chicane. 25 drivers on a server. Is going to be incredibly difficult. So please use maximum consideration on those opening laps. Nobody should be completely race over after an incident, because the damage is set to performance impacting, so you can't lose wheels, you can't do stuff like that. But mechanical failures are on. If you run too much boost or whatever and your engine fails, and engine failures are a possibility, and also fuel usage, etc. But ultimately we trying not to. It is a replica of the Adelaide F1 event, which I think only had something like 8 finishes or something ridiculous out of 16 to 20 starting. But yes, we are going to try and beat that record, because we're better than the F1 drivers. But as I say, you'll be getting lots of reminders at the start to take it easy. We do expect drivers to wait who take people out, but if it's chaotic at the start, it may be incredibly hard to know who to wait for and what's gone on. That's why we don't require you to wait unless you know you've messed up. But if you know you've messed up, later in the race you take somebody out, you're going to have to wait for them. That's what the rules require. The stewards have done an absolutely stunning job, but they have started to lean towards, as they're definitely allowed to, and as I agree with, I have to admit, but I am separate from the stewarding decisions as much as I can be. But the stewards have gone for, when people don't wait, they penalise above and beyond what would have happened if they just had redressed it on track. So it is in all drivers' interest to, if possible, wait after an incident, because that will be less impact on you than if you carry on and it goes to steward view after the race. Right, thank you very much, guys. We'll leave it there. I've got kids to look after, and my wife is no doubt fed up about how long I've spent on the computer already this morning trying to get this sorted. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll get the servers opened up as quick as I can, hopefully straight away, if the wife doesn't mind me being on the computer a little bit longer. And yeah, we'll see you on track on Wednesday for what I hope is a better performance than the real life F1 drivers did all those years ago. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.